Same like we did last time, except now we're doing black fur. I'll show you how to block this guy out so that you get the values right. I'm working in felts, but this is a great exercise for planning acrylics, oils, whatever you happen to be working on. What am I looking for in the outline? I want straight lines. I want angles. How close to horizontal or vertical? And I'm going to be comparing these lines to easy to find wayfinders like the center, or maybe a quarter of the way across. So now I want to get this shape over here. First shape I'm looking at is here. An 8th way across. And this comes in at about a half and is slightly taller than horizontal. How about the top of the head? A quarter of the way. So it starts from there and goes kind of like that. Ear, very close to the top. And I'm just trying to get my hand used to, okay, it's going to be that angle. All right, let's try and do that angle over here. Now, how much does this shape look like this shape? This looks fatter to me. I'm going to try and be more to that side. Where does his forehead stop? Between these two. And does this very shallow line here. The end of the muzzle comes out to this shape here. I should have a line that goes right from about a quarter of the way through, down through where the, down to this little indent, straight on through to the neck. And I've got these shoulder marks, but I'm not going to worry too much about those. This actually comes off at an angle. Now, I'm pretty confident with this. I've got enough wayfinding marks that I can put in something a little darker. Just checking. And voila, a cat. Does this shape look like this shape? I'm satisfied with that. Let's fill it in. Now the fun part. Where are the blocks? This time I'm squinting and I am looking for the edge of shadows, not the edge of the animal. There's an edge. There's an edge. Here's an edge. And here's an edge. So we got some new shapes to draw. Come right out of that corner on a 45. Back at another 45. And cooling its heels to the edge. But this little sort of diamond here, that's the ear. Let's be bold and start with black. The darkest darks. I'm noticing this is a lot shorter. Now we're following the shadow lines we made. black. Yep, no color. And some of you may have noticed a second set of black markings just up here that are very small. I like to do big areas like this first and then come back for those. So that's going to be the nostril, just above the cheekbone, coming into the eye, and actually going above the eye. And if you want to get detailed with this, just follow the exact same process we did with these big lines in little. Zoom in, spend some time with it. It's the same process, it's just little. All right, and let's fill in our middle grays to round this out. To find the middle grays, I just want to see what's not white. And you can learn to do this just by looking, but there's a really handy little thing here if you want something to practice with, and that's a grayscale. Start with the lightest one. That's white. That's white. The eye is darker. In fact, I don't see anything else in here. That's close, but not quite. That is white. I'm not going to get this fine. I'm just going to do black, white, gray. So to do that, grab middle gray. Is stuff lighter than middle gray? Or is it darker than middle gray? Or about the same? I'm going to put about the same in the camp of darker. Comes in kind of like that. And then it comes up a bit here. And there we have it, a value study. You can use a study like this to plan a much bigger or more detailed painting. You can also use it to change or edit compositions like I did with this piece. You can see it's based off the same reference photo, but I didn't like the angle. I thought the bum was a bit awkward, so I just removed it and made it as if the cat was just looking in that direction. I hope this was helpful. If you want me to do a breakdown of your reference photo, take a look at the link in the show notes. We'll be doing 2 more black fur paintings before we get into more complicated stuff like patterns, stripes, spots, tricolor, the hard stuff. So stick with me for the easy bits for the next couple weeks, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.